Hey guys, Friday, January 3rd of 2025. Wanted to do a video for gold and the silver bugs. I own both, so I am happy where it's at. But let's dive in and see what the charts is saying. Looking at the market profile, we are above on the monthly, above all the indicators using a 10-year and a 5-year. So we got to go in the upper range, but so far, pretty healthy move to the upside. On the daily is a little more interesting. Let's see, we could tap in here. We're finding support at the value area high around 25.43 and kind of having a tough time here. Well, not a tough time, but just kind of consolidating here. This value area high of 26.82. I would keep an eye out for this area right here, 27.26, as you can see on the pivots. Lining up with the market profile. So if we were to go higher, we could probably stall here for a little bit until bulls continue pushing, test this one, and then test the 2801. So far looks like it's like a triangular pattern, and it's either going to break to the upside, continue going sideways, or go lower. And that's not including anything of seasonality or cycles or Gann theory or Elliott wave. Now looking at the simple glance chart, we notice that the MACD is negative on the monthly. However, above the cloud and the big time frames, it's good. Above the 20, the 50, the 100, I'm sure the 200 is below. And the cloud looks positive, but the only thing negative here is that the MACD is negative. Linear regression channels are pointing up. The trend is up, just kind of sideways, here. Looks like maybe may want to turn here with this candle. On the weekly, MACDs are negative. Well, it looks like they want to go positive, so this would probably be maybe a good area to start getting in just by looking at the indicator. You can see that it's between the purple, so it's pretty not that wild with swings, but it looks like it's just, a tight consolidation with a bias still to the upside, although kind of chopping around the 20 SMA. But so far, everything looks good on the weekly. On the daily, you have a different picture. You kind of in the cloud, consolidating in the short time frame, and it looks like now wants to break out to the upside. Big level is 2671. If you could break above that, obviously value area high within a year, which is 2709, and the linear regression channel. So if you're long around here, this is probably where you want to unload a little bit and see if we could blow right through and test 2801. Let's look at some of the geometry, and this is a chart I've had for the longest. This is a yearly chart. This is going back to 1976. We got our wave, and this is more Elliott stuff. Wave 1, wave 2, that was around 2001. We did a wave 3 at 2011, wave 4 all the way to 2015, and we are in a wave 5, and it could continue going higher. So far, we hit our first target of 2720. We went as high as 2080, 2801. And just kind of hovering in this area, which is good and healthy. If we were to go higher, my next target would be 3131. Halfway point of that is 3548. But so far, we hit our first target. And we have to see if maybe there's going to be a pullback here. Correction. You could do a trend line. You could do whatever you want. But, from here, we have to, dive in a little more into the charts and into different techniques to see what are the probabilities of it going higher or stalling here or turning. Lastly, just kind of glancing at the midpoint chart on the yearly, you're above, so you're good. You're hovering around the 50 moving average. On the monthly, you're kind of consolidating between the midpoint, and right now you are at the midpoint, which is 2678. Mobiles are positive, Stokes are positive. You got PPS buy signal on the daily. So we could continue going higher. Let's see if we could get above 2678. That's your big level right there. Then your next quadrant would be 2700. On the 4 hour, you are pushing. You're above the midpoint, so that's good. It's healthy. And on the hourly, yeah, you're above the midpoint for today. So it could push even higher, all the way to 2693, as long as you hold today 2655. Let's go to the silver market real quick. Silver market, pretty healthy also. On the however, on the weekly, we're just kind of hovering above the value area high as support. So still healthy. Pull back a little bit. This is holding at 30. And on the daily, you're pretty much below the midpoints or the point of control. Finding support here, which makes sense. You're finding support at the value area high on the 5-year time frame. Yep. Let's look at our simple glance. MACD is negative on the monthly. Looks like it's retracing a little more. These monthly candles, however, the trend is up, but it's showing some sign of weakness. Yep. And you're smacking the midpoint of the monthly. On the weekly, you've pulled back pretty good. It looks like an ABC. And on top of that, you hit a 13 D mark on October, November, December, and well, what am I talking about? This is, yeah, October, what year? 2024. These are weeklies, yeah. So this is October where we hit that linear regression. That's what I've always been saying. And you can see it by, you can kind of pick up on it on the evidence of the videos that I do, that this is where you want to either unload or start taking some off the table. Pull back. You're kind of finding support the value area high of 30, 29, 29. This is an area probably I'll be interested. It pulls in. You get the cloud support at 2852, and you get the 50 SMA. Even in this area too, around 26. But if it pulls down here, bottom feeders are going to come and probably start getting exposure, and maybe try to see if we could do a retest of this high and maybe push higher, or maybe do a fail new high and then take out all this liquidity down here. But I don't know if I want to go short here. It looks like the MACD wants to now turn, so it might not get down here. So you got to be careful. On the daily, which is interesting, is that we are below the cloud in the short-term time frame. So yeah, you can see that there is some weakness building in, and the MACD now is starting to get positive. But you're kind of like in chop fest. $30 right here. In the mobile, I think it's around 29, so it's still there. Once you want to see something like this, so you can get kind of a move, swing higher, at least to the 20, 30, or the 50, or this area right here. You got the cloud, you got key levels 32 and 32, pretty much 32. But first, get above the 20 and the 50 and deal with the linear regression channel on the upside. Using the geometry, I don't have anything on this chart, but you can see that we've been as high as 50, pretty much 49.50. We did that in 2011, and we did that in 1980. So far, you could probably do some trend lines, but you can say that the trend is up. Haven't violated anything negative yet, so it's just a lot of chop fest, but it looks like it wants to go higher. And that's not including seasonality, cycles, and other techniques. The monthly is positive as long as you could hold 28. We're getting close for this year. I might want to test that, see if it bounces. On the monthly pivots, you are below your midpoint, so there is a little weakness there. Although you're getting some positive movement here, so it looks like maybe You got a target of the $50 and $30, so that's a reasonable target if you wanted to do a little swing trade, either there or to the midpoint, which is 31. But so far the daily's looking good with the monthly pivots, and the 4-hour you already we close above third. Is it 30? Yeah, if we close above 30 on the 4-hour, this is a weekly pivot. You're going to be back. One thing I'm concerned is this linear regression channel here, so you got to be very risky. It would have been nice going long from here. So once you start getting into this area, this is when you want to start taking off the table. It all depends on your risk factor. But so far, Movos and Stokes are looking good. And on the 1-hour, you can see that you got this nice trend to the upside. So looking good. You're above as long as you stay above 29.65, and you got the 200 below you, so that's good. And targets to the upside, obviously you hit the first extension 30. Next one will be 30.42 for today only, but so far looking good. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the gold and silver markets.